What's going on, guys? Main Event Star here. Hello and welcome to the next UFC simulation. UFC 154 is this weekend, and it features the return of GSP as he returns to the welterweight division to defend his title against the interim champion Carlos Condit. Just wanted to pay the bills a little bit, get the cheap pops out of the way early. If you like this video, don't forget to leave a comment and subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to like this video as well and also share it. You can check out my other videos by clicking on the star on the bottom right corner of this page. Please be sure to check it out. I really appreciate it. Now that we got the cheap pops out of the way, on to the main event of UFC 154. GSP returns, and he locks in a submission right off the bat in this simulation. Does not get it. Carlos Condit sneaks out right about here at this point. GSP has not fought in a year and a half almost. So I don't think with an athlete on St-Pierre's level that ring rust would be a problem. But, I mean, you never know. You never know whenever a guy has a long layoff like that. You don't know how he's going to come out. I think this injury is definitely going to define GSP as a fighter. If he comes back from this better than ever, then there's definitely the argument that he is one of the best of all time. And I don't like having that pound-for-pound argument because I think it's irrelevant. But if GSP wins this fight, I think it's inevitable that he takes on Anderson Silva. I mean, that fight is one of the last true money fights that the UFC has left. And I don't think John Jones would take on Silva, so the next logical step would be for GSP to take on Silva. But on the other hand, maybe ring rust is a factor. Maybe that ACL isn't healed 100%. And maybe Carlos Condit comes in just fired up and ready to go, which I think Carlos Condit is a very viable option to beat GSP. Carlos Condit put away the Diaz. He put Diaz away, questionably, but, you know, he did win that fight and he won the interim title. So who knows? Carlos Condit, I think, does stand a pretty good chance in this fight. He is a very accomplished fighter. As the first round ends, it's a very even matchup. And we move into the championship rounds. The second and third rounds of this simulation was a lot of what you've seen so far is just them grappling back and forth on the ground game. If I were to judge how the simulation had gone so far, I would favor it in GSP. Each round, GSP would immediately take down Condit and just control the ground game. So I would definitely say that GSP was winning the fight up till this point. Now, what's interesting about this simulation is you'll see it here in a little bit, but it kind of has a little bit of resemblance to what's been going on in real life so far. So once we get to that point, I will point it out. But it's a very interesting matchup. I think it'll be a very good pay-per-view draw. GSP always brings the buy rate with the UFC pay-per-views, which is something that they've been lacking recently. I'm not sure how the Anderson Silva pay-per-view did or the John Jones pay-per-view did. I didn't look it up before I started recording. But as Carlos Condit goes for a submission here, he too does not get it. But definitely the first and fourth rounds were the most entertaining of this fight. I surely hope that GSP does not just take Carlos down and ground and pound the whole fight. I hope he is aggressive and tries to finish. And right here, we're getting close to the end of the fight, I believe, as GSP, he will go for a leg kick. And right there, Carlos Condit will check it. And GSP goes down in a heap, and they call the fight. Carlos Condit wins the fight. Possibly GSP re-injures the knee, something to that effect. Who knows? Who knows if the knee is fully healed? So we'll see how well GSP responds to that injury in the fight. But the simulation, it's not looking good for GSP. So there you go. Is that something? Is that the future right there? Could that possibly happen? Who knows? You never know in the UFC. Anything could happen on any given night in any given fight. That's the beauty of mixed martial arts, is that anything could happen. So there you go. Carlos Condit wins the welterweight championship by a very shocking way. In fact, that's the first time I've actually ever seen that in UFC Undisputed. So there's our first for everything, and that will wrap up this main event simulation. If you guys did like this video, again, I would encourage you to just subscribe to my channel. You can check out all my other videos by clicking on the star in the video in the bottom right corner. My name is Main Event Star. I'm going to enjoy the pay-per-view this weekend. Hope you guys do as well. We'll see you for the next pay-per-view later on, guys.